Men in my old guard. As you can see here, we have Shoxy, the legend, the myth, the
What's
legend
up?
from First Brigade, General Major, led the entire First Brigade.
It's
I
me.
convinced him to host an event once for the entire First Brigade against my little stupid ass nation, and we won. But on Riesa, we didn't win. So, and vocals, which is like some colonel and no, no, no.
Major.
Yeah, whatever. Vogels, you're just some guy in Saxony. Just worry about it. Jedi warrior who wished to stay anonymous. He's here. This guy's here. He has a lot of experience in Saxony. He'll be telling you about it. Love Bolivia, also anonymous. Fuck, bro. He's anonymous, and keep it that way. Um, Snootaru, bro. The previous chef that stabs, probably the most closest to Zadir that he's ever been. Closest person. Um, that is against Zadir now. King Prussian, who got death threats sent by Zadir, very bad, and he was really disrespected during it, and you know he was pretty offended, So what I want to ask, Doxy first, actually, Doxy, how did you join
Oh,
Saxon?
I got recruited on Waterloo at home. It was the first time I've ever been in an army group.
Yeah,
So Saxony's like my only experience ever. I don't know anything about the outside world.
yeah. I mean, well, like, why did you stay? Because like I'm
Because
guessing
of
there was some
the
like oppression. Oh, like what?
the fans. You have to ask the questions. The
I
fans.
am. I am. I'm asking why did you join and stay in Saxony despite your problems with Zadir?
Oh, well, like I said, it's the only war group I've ever been in. I don't have anything else to compare it to. But one of the main reasons is when I was like admin still, I could get away with doing a lot of dumb shit in my events, like spawning in gears. And I also knew a lot of people in Saxony already, which helps.
I mean, I can't blame you, sir, for wait stay there. I mean, I think I did. Yeah, yeah, some impressive nation. But what was your main goal in Saxony, Shoxy? What do you think it was? Like,
I never really had one. I just used it for fun and as a way to pass time. The moment I got bored of Saxony, I just left, pretty much.
okay. Did you ever attempt to revolt or like go against the leaders of Saxony? Like,
No, I have no enemies. It's a block game.
all right. I guess it's pretty casual of you to say that. Pretty neutral on all sides. But um, what do you think about this deer guy? Like, Shoxy, what do you think?
Um, Early on, I never really talked to him. Sometimes he'd like mention my name in staff meetings and tell me to recruit. But the main argument I've had with him is when he demoted me down one rank when I teabagged him, and it didn't even change anything because there was no Oberst to take over. So
You are
oh, that
now
was funny.
Oberst Lieutenant. Yeah, I remember that. Like you told it you are now Oberst Lieutenant, and I don't have to worry about fixing the Oberst uniform because you're not getting that anytime soon.
Yeah.
Okay, Snootaru, I wanna ask you next because I think you as a person you have the most experience. You can answer these questions, no doubt, with like the most information. So listen, it's the same thing. Like, what was your personal experiences with here, like from the beginning to the end?
Okay, so if I go beginning, we're talking like 20-man rally here.
Okay.
I originally joined and didn't really care about them because it was just another group that one of my friends got a free rank in. That friend being the current Kronprinz.
Spyware.
Yeah, Spyware. He's cuddling I'm a poo head. He's not Spyware. He's cuddling I'm a poo head, which is more accurate.
Yeah, I
It was
remember.
more or less just, hey, we're bored, just the same as Shoxy. We're gonna go in here and we're gonna have fun, right? And then I attended a couple events. I got promoted, and then I started developing for the group, and that's how I got most of my rank.
So like, you know, I'm guessing you did, like, notice some discrepancies with Zadir and his group. Like,
Yeah,
why did you say?
I was there before the whole controversy with the Australian woman. If anyone knows what that is, then you know what it is, and I shouldn't have to explain it. But
Wait,
when that,
hold on. Did that actually happen?
yes, that actually happened.
All the
Yep.
DMs?
That's not fake. It actually happened.
So he asked the miner for nudes, bro.
Yes, and I talked to her, asked her if she was okay. She's okay now. Like
There you have
when
it, folks.
when
First-hand
Zadir,
account of it.
yeah, like we talked to Zadir, me, Spyware, and the leader of France. Oh my god, what's his name? I can't think of his name, but like the main France that Saxony PRs like all the time.
Galler's assault.
Yeah, that guy. We
Mhm.
ended up talking to Zadir and told him that he had three options. He can either keep doing what he's doing now, which is the worst option that he could have chosen, which is what he ended up choosing. Deleting his Discord account and starting fresh with his own new group, or just not do anything, or just get off Discord and never come back. And he chose the worst possible option, which is the one that has gotten him into the most trouble with other people, which caused most of the time for people to do things like oppose him and threaten the glorious leader that he thinks he is.
I think he has an ego of some sort. Well, why do you think that was created?
I mean, if I think about it logically, he gets homeschooled, and he spends all of his time either doing chores or on working on Saxony, which most people, because most people aren't homeschooled, don't have the time that he has and the things that he puts in, which he's entitled in a sense to being active because he's able to be as active. So I don't think he can comprehend why people can't be active because time zones, school, like social interaction, which is another reason why I think he's not necessarily fit for being a good Lego group leader is because of his lack of social skills.
You wouldn't think like the internet would show him that, because he talks to, I guess, many people on a daily basis. Well,
Yeah, but not in person, only on the internet. Which is also why it's a long bunny hole that would take too much time to go down. Long rabbit
well,
hole.
I've talked to you in the past. I think I know most of your goal in Saxony, but just to rephrase it or mention it again. What was your goal in Saxony, and why did you make
Well, like
the big
when?
document listing all the things that you wanted to do in Saxony?
So originally, like I was friends with him, and I wanted to make the group better because he was being a little stubborn little man. I don't want to call him a stubborn little boy. So I put together a document that was going to be everything I was going to try to do, which apparently the staff that he has didn't like very much. I still have the document at easy access, but I'm pretty sure most people have access to what it was. Essentially, reforming the entire army so that it would rally more, because most of the group is based off of merges, and if you only get merges and then promise to give them a regiment, you have 10 regiments that rally 3.
Right. Um, I'm guessing you did do this, right? Did you attempt to revolt against the leaders, band together people?
Oh yeah, definitely. I
But
think it was
was
2 times.
oh, 2 times.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it was 2 times. It might have just been 1 time. I think it might have been 2 though. The first time was the one that actually did something though. The first main revolt was the one that I worked on with a couple other people.
so he's been revolted against in the past. How much revolutions have you think he's suffered through? Um,
At least 4 or 5.
oh my
That's just
god,
off of
bro.
what I think. Now, it's not necessarily revolutions like, hey, we're gonna get a group of people together and fight this man in a Lego battle. That doesn't work. And I went to an event in the regiment that I'm in, the National Guard, and they said we need to train so that if anyone revolts, we can fight back. So now they have a regiment dedicated to fighting people who try to rebel.
Really?
Yes. And the only
Uh,
thing, like, the server's been bombed how many times? 3 or 4 times now?
Right. I mean, yeah.
The only way that you're going to be able to take Zadir down is reporting him, like mass reporting him.
But wouldn't he just like make a new account, new Discord account, new Roblox account?
No, we're talking mass. Okay, I'm gonna get into something a little bit later. That's gonna why he getting banned off Discord won't do anything. Like reporting him on Roblox worked for a little bit to get the group taken down, but the only thing that you can do now is report his Discord account. But that doesn't work because that's not the actual Discord account that owns the Discord server. Now, it's very common among large communities where the leaders like people who are under the age of consent to have an alt account that is inactive. So if their main gets banned for doing something illegal, they can add their new main account on by using their alt that they've had that owns the server, which is exactly what Zadir does.
Do you think he's using that for malpractice?
I'm not. He did it because it was his old account and he changed accounts, and then that is now the benefit that he's using it for. That if his Discord gets banned for any particular reason, he has a way to add a new account to make himself the king again.
Right. That was peak content. That was interesting. That was okay. To the current people of Saxony, hold on. I want just like this row to turn on their mics. Okay. Like you're gonna talk now. This row. Because you guys, I think you're your current peak staff in Saxony right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, one by one, okay? I want no interference. Okay, Vogos, you go first. What is your experience at Saxony? How did you join beginning Ferment?
So, I joined about October of 2022, and I left like thousands of times after that just by making fun of his group. But eventually I got offered as Swiss lieutenant of one of his regiments, and that's really the main reason why I stayed inside of Saxony until eventually getting promoted to a junior captain, now major. But there's way more to that, but it would take a long time to go through all that.
Okay, Emos. I'll cut that out in the editing. Don't worry about that. Hold on. Bolivia.
Yes. Hello? Hello?
Bolivia.
Yes.
What are your personal experiences with Zadir?
Lots of hate speech, death threats, never responds to DMs, and when he does, never anything positive, always negative. And, yeah.
Don't. What about the recruiting? You know, I guess you're like, you're a high rank, so like, you view over the NCOs and officers who recruit a lot, who train a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So let me ask you this: do you feel bad for those individuals who have to put up with that pressure, with that sort of thing?
Yes, I do. Mainly because they are normally pressured by multiple DMs every day to recruit or reminders to recruit. And even if they're on LOA or can't attend anything, they're normally punished for that.
So, I'm guessing you have this kind of savior complex. I don't even think I should be calling it that, but something. I'm guessing you wanted to change Saxony in some way. So, how did you go about trying to do that?
Well, At first, I wanted to try to speedrun becoming gen staff until I realized that would one, not help me in really any way, and two, definitely harder than I thought to get gen staff. I thought I could help by reforming First Brigade, but no one really liked my ideas on how to do so, so I never had an opportunity to.
Did you try to revolt against Saxony in any way?
On a technicality, no. But I have joined one group chat where people wanted to rebel.
And how'd that go?
I think they all got kicked or banned or just demoted.
And they
How
just
you?
like left the era outright.
Could you repeat that?
They just like left the era, right?
I don't think most of them left the era. I know a few who are in a few NNW nations, but
So they just like switched, like into a better experience.
yeah, much better.
Okay, I see. Vogos, you can go into a bit of that about your experience with Zadir himself.
So like when I first like actually started talking to Zadir, he was always he always had an attitude, and there was actually this one time I had an experience with him, and he after yelling at staff and stuff and saying recruit, he actually joined my nation and like tried to personally like yell at my men. But there's also a few times where like I've gotten demoted, and he has like he backed me up once when I got demoted, but then began to troll and gave everyone permission to like the regimental staff chat, and ended up putting me as Grand Prince for like 5 minutes, I think. But there's also been times he has like personally told me to recruit more and to help my regiment more whenever I could, and has literally offered me a regiment just for getting it to Rally 10.
So
Amazing.
he's trying to help your nation by just yelling at your Rangers.
Yeah,
Is
we
that
were
what I'm getting?
in the middle of a PR, and he joined the stage and started yelling, and he was actually talking to his dad about the way my rankers talked and stuff.
Crazy, bro. So like his dad is involved in all this. You know how crazy that it is. Like his dad openly
He
has pictures, videos of him online. Like, don't,
he he was talking to his dad while he was in that stage in my nation, which was Bavaria, and he was talking to his dad and saying how most of my rankers weren't raised right because there's a lot of use of the N word and stuff from people who are able to say that, and he was saying we were raised wrong and stuff to his dad.
oh my gosh, bro. I mean, like, why? You didn't try to kick him out, right, or anything like that.
We didn't kick him, we let him talk, and also been times I've wanted to PR like parts of Saxony, but because of my current rank I can't view any channels. So that's from my own, and I've DM'd him asking, and he has just either trolled or just left it on red.
What's your experiences with staff chat? How do you view Saxony? Like, let me ask you this. In this way, so Bolivia and CAD, you're going to have to answer this question as also. How do you view staff chat? What kind of hierarchies are there? Who is not your friend? Who is your friend? Something like that. How do you view that exactly?
Do we respond right now or?
Well, I mean, whenever, like, you just take your turn.
Okay.
Yeah. So Scalar has I don't talk to much against staff. I've been moved to 3rd Brigade after spending my whole time in 1st, but really Zadir. Sometimes he's like a literal dictator. And Skiller's one of like the main gen staff that I've actually been able to like not be yelled at by, and he's actually pretty chill. Like he even tried to kind of revolt against the deer once. But man, I don't talk to much gen staff because I skip a lot of staff meetings because of the like it's so boring most of the time. But Zadir, he's like a supreme dictator of Saxony at times.
Like a fascist dictator, like Adolf Hitler kind of thing.
He like sometimes he literally rules Saxony with an iron fist.
Yeah. But hold on. I'm gonna have to ask Jedi Warrior and King Prussian some questions. So like, let's start with King Prussian because I know you can talk right now. King Prussian, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So I know you've been personally harassed by Zadir. He's literally went to your DM, sent you 3 death threats on an alt account. So explain how it got to that moment. That's
Well, first of all, we have to start with how I, kind of got to know Saxony. Personally, personally for me, I never really got into the Napoleonic genre until like I joined Saxony. At that moment, I didn't even have any idea like what Saxony was or just really anything about it. And it all started one day when I was in a Waterloo at home game because at the time I was actually working on my own little group. That's actually the
right.
main reason. And I was trying to recruit people. And this is at the time where that like giant grand internal that Zadir was trying to have with I think it was Aiden's France or something like that. That giant grand internal. And he was at like what 1,900 members at that time. Well, anyway, I'm building little recruitment base or whatever. His whole group comes up to me. He's like a group maybe 20 men, and he's leading it.
Right.
Uh, yeah, they basically come in and destroy the base, and he's like, "Wait a minute, hey, hey, yeah, Union soldier, hey, you want to join Saxony?" It's like, ah, man, I don't know, bruh. Because like again, I didn't know anything about the Napoleonic genre, so it's like I really didn't have any interest. And he's like, "No, man, come on, why, come on, why don't you try it?" And it's like, man, I guess. I mean, he even offered me an NCO position, like in Saxony, just to join. And not even most of his
So
rankers at the beginning could even get that privilege. And so just at that point, it was like, all right, whatever. I guess I'll join.
I let me ask you this now. So he free ranks NCOs, right? Because I heard in Konig, those kinds of regiments, you can get an NCO rank pretty easily.
Yeah, yeah. He definitely does free rank a lot of people. And
So yeah, if you guys want to free rank in a nation, just go ahead and join to the Saxony and do it, bro.
you don't even need to be like in the group. You could probably just be like in another group. He's like, hey, kid, you want to join? You want to join? And then just free ranks you to probably captain.
Okay, maybe not captain, but sergeant. Yeah, I'd see that.
I got
Um,
free rank to captain by my oberst, but still,
So
Yeah.
I was free ranked as Swiss lieutenant upon joining a regiment.
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. I don't know what his choosing process is or whatever. Is it like favoritism? I wouldn't know. Like, or maybe like he like looks at a username. Ooh, Vogers Varugers. What a professional looking username. This guy needs to be captain as soon as possible.
Yeah. But anyways, so
Yeah,
yeah. I joined the group, got into VC of the recruitment or whatever. A week later, we do the giant internal with Aiden's France or whatever it was. And after that, he has a big speech, all that. And then that's when I got introduced to everyone in the NCO group chat,
yeah.
which they were probably the closest things to being like actual friends, like in Saxony. Like because of them, they were the reason that I stayed as long as I did until this point. But anyway, to quickly run down the list, there was Skiller, who was probably the most he was probably the best commander in Saxony ever.
Hear ye, Skiller. Oh my gosh, yeah. I enjoy that guy too. He's pretty good, pretty cool.
Yeah, he's definitely much chiller than Zadir, I will say that. And then there was who, I think his name, Bread Sucks at Waterloo, whatever his name was. He was pretty chill too. And then going over some others, there was Emu, G Boy, Can Hitter or Nine Tail Fox as we called him. He
That's
was
my
probably
G.
yes, sir. But he was probably the best guy, because when I became like captain of the Fusiliers, and this is a long time ago, when I was captain of Fusiliers in
Yeah,
Saxony, he was major at the time. He did everything he could to help me. He helped with rallies. He did all of that, and he stuck up for me, and I really appreciate him for that. But anyways, so I got introduced to them in the NCO group chat. Time goes by. Skiller then offers me, he's like, "Hey, listen, you've been really dedicated to Saxony as of lately." Because at that point, I had just been recruiting once a day, putting that all in the NCO bulletin or whatever, showing that yeah. And he was just like, "Hey, you've been really loyal to Saxony as of lately. So do you want to you want to become like Seuss Lieutenant or something like that?" And it's like, "Yeah, sure, I'd be up for it." And I will say this. I will say this.
yeah,
Sorry for the yelling, but you know how Zadir in Saxony will usually say, "Hey, listen, you recruit this person, you recruit one person a day or something like that, and you get like 70 Robux for that." Well, it turns out, and I just found this not today, but like a while ago, he doesn't even pay most of his rankers most of the time, and it's only when it's brought to his attention in VCs will he then finally pay them. So
yeah. I
it's
mean,
like,
right. I mean, like I DM'd him about that. Like, you don't pay your rankers, and then at that final moment, he makes a shout, "Hey, if you need payouts for recruits, DM me as soon as possible." It's like
yeah,
crazy. Only when he's reminded. Maybe we shouldn't
yeah,
remind him too much. But
yeah.
yeah. So,
Uh,
when did that little thing start? When, like, to the point where he sent you death threats? Like, when did that climax start?
Alright. Well, I would say it started when uh I finally became captain of Fusiliers. I was first adjutant because I got like another free rank up or whatever. Or and
Uh
then
huh.
it's like I go to talk to Skiller and it's like, "Hey, I feel like Fusiliers isn't doing so well. I wish it was doing better." And he's like, "You know what? You know what? I can see your dedication. Make this man a captain." And it's like I'm captain of Fusiliers. And then Zadir is like, "Okay, second and first Fusiliers are not rallying a lot. I'm just going to make second Fusiliers uh a depot company." And it was only supposed to be a temporary company. But there was just like maybe 50 people alone in that, and then there was barely anyone in Fusiliers. But yeah. So I'm captain of that, and it's my job to host like recruitments, trainings every day. But here's the thing. How am I supposed to do that if I can't get any of my rankers to join? Because like most of my rankers and stuff like that were just mostly offline, except for a couple. There were a couple good ones who gave me like reasons like that afterwards, like, "Oh, I can't and join and stuff like that." And I understand that. I mean, I have a life outside of this too, and so I'd like let them all. It's like, "You're good. You don't have to attend, and it's all fine." Again, I understand. We all have lives outside of this,
Yeah.
and so it's like we'd get like 4 to 5 man rallies while Zadir is over here telling us, saying like, "Hey, you need to be having like 10 to 12 man rallies." And it's like, well, how can I do that if most of my men are off enjoying their lives and you're over here just breathing down my throat, getting me to, you know, rally more than just 4. I
So
mean,
okay. Listen, like, just tell me how that happened. Like, you left Saxony, and then Zadir sent you death threats. Like, that, just describe that situation to me. Okay.
all right. So it was just like maybe it was at night and I was on uh Discord. It was after a staff meeting and I'm just talking to Skiller and it's like, "Hey man, I don't know if I want to be in Saxony anymore. Like he keeps in the VC that I just got off with him. Again, it's same crap. He's telling us, hey, we need to rally more. You're not doing well. Oh, come on, you need to step it up. And it's like, I can't. And if I can't even get my men to rally. But anyway, so telling Skiller all this, and it's like honestly, I just want to tell Zadir that I want to leave. But at the same time, it's like I don't want to have to freaking have him yelling in my DMs, like having to suffer backlash and all that. So I don't know. So, I asked Skiller if he could do me a favor, just like send him a picture of the message that I was gonna send Zadir. Here, I write it all out. Send it to Skiller. Skiller sends the picture of the message that I wrote to him to Zadir. And a few moments later, I get a response back from the Zadir saying, "So what? You don't have the balls? You don't have the dick to tell me yourself?" And it's like, whoa, calm down, buddy. And so at that point, it's just like I didn't want to have to suffer backlash. Again, this is what I told him. I said I don't want to have to suffer backlash and like you ranting on to me about like, oh, you're nothing but a traitor. You don't care anything about this group, and it's like I didn't want to have to deal with that. And so at that point, I basically then just blocked him on his main account. And then this is probably this is where the death threat comes in. He goes on his alt account, LaFrance LaFrance is his alt account.
Yeah.
He goes on there. He then proceeds to write to me, and I actually have the message right here in my pictures. If you could give me a moment to look it up, I can actually read it right here. Give me a minute. All right, here it is. All right, this is what I wrote. I said, hello, and then this is what he writes. He says, on the other hand, I wish only the worst for you. Please, please get the fuck out of my nation. Never ever step foot within my doors again, you pathetic, weak excuse of a fucking human. Go fucking kill yourself. Step in a fucking hole, twist your fucking leg, and drown in your own piss. And then that's when he proceeded to block me on his alt account.
Oh my God! Oh Lord! Oh, Jesus! Okay.
And I really wasn't even like upset or anything like that. I was just
That
laughing
was
at
just hilarious, bro.
yeah, bro, I was dying laughing as he's typing this to me.
I on the other hand, bro, he was like, well, be scary and shit. One time,
Yeah.
he told me he lives in like fucking Naperville, Illinois, or some shit like that. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Um,
And
Jedi Warrior. Can you speak in VC, or are you too scared to a little scaredy cat? Huh? Jedi Warrior, are you there?
Jedi Warrior, we need you.
Jedi Warrior, just unmute your mic. Don't worry, your voice will be deep in the process. No one's gonna know who you are. Shut up, bro. No one has stage fright. Just be like, I'm gonna balls this, bro, or something. I don't know. Trust me. Think of me.
Gay!
Oi!
Jedi.
I muted the wrong one. What was the first question?
Jedi.
Yep.
You're Capitan right now in some unknown regiment. Let's keep it anonymous. Whatever regiment that is.
I guess.
You as the person in there, okay? How much do you recruit per day?
0.
Okay, so how much do your what is it? How much do your NTOs recruit per day?
0.
So they don't recruit at all in LibGuard.
Hey, you just said my regiment.
Shut up. Hey, no, hey. Okay, we're just gonna cut that out. All right, just don't worry about it. It's gonna be censored out. It's gonna be funny. Listen, okay. Have you ever tried to revolt against the leaders? You know, have you?
No, I really don't have like anything that bad towards him to the point where I revolt. That's a little bit stupid.
But like, oh yeah, I think you've already told me your goal in Saxony. You were trying to what was it? Yeah, you were trying to sort of just help the community in a way. You know, try to make it prosperous. You know, fix the problems, everything in it. Is that correct?
I'm pretty sure. Actually, yeah. Yeah, okay, that was a really bad response, but yeah, that was the goal.
Okay, so here's the most important question I want to ask you, Jedi. How what would you say? Because I want you to say this specifically to people. What would you say to the other people in Saxony right now that are struggling with coming to terms with stuff in their nation and coming to terms with the fact that they're in such a nation, right? Um, like I understand you have nothing against Zadir, right? But I'm guessing you want to help people. So what would you suggest in Saxony to other people? Um,
Honestly, like, here's the thing. If they feel pressured about it, like they can't handle it, like it's honestly best for them to either like step away or they could just leave. Because if you can't handle it, then that's not really healthy for you, in my opinion.
but like okay, I guess in that sense. Listen, boys, everyone unmute your mic, all right?
Yo.
You, as the
Hello.
people of Saxony, you've done an important role today. You've spoken your mind. You've spoken everything that needs to be spoken about, and I'm really proud that you came onto the show. That you agreed to do this because I was DMing a lot of other Saxony members, and they were just like, I love Zadir. I wouldn't do this ever against him. I wouldn't go in a talk show and just talk about him. But you know, um,
Yeah, it's like an
try to
abusive
invite Skiller
relationship.
too. It's kind of crazy. Um, obviously, I don't think he would ever do that. But
And
listen,
my responses were mediocre.
bro, don't worry. You've contributed something to the entire podcast. You don't have to be worried about everything. So here's the thing now. What would you say to the people in Saxony? Everyone, just just speak freely. It doesn't matter if you're talking over each other.
Well, let's be respectful here and go in order so the people of Saxony can understand what we're saying, so we're not yelling over each other.
Okay, Snu Arrow, you're first.
Okay, I'm gonna say for like going for all the groups rankers. If you don't want to be active, don't be active. NCOs. I mean, there's two types of you. There's the ones that want to ride your officers 24/7, and there's the ones that got it because they're good at the game. Just either stop or figure out something that you can do to make your experience a little bit more tolerable. And for the staff that are still staff now, speak up against the deer because he won't understand that he's doing anything wrong if no one tells him that he's doing something wrong.
What officers? What do you
And
suggest to
in
the officers?
general, if you don't like it, leave. There are
Yeah.
so many other groups where you can get better experience in as an officer. You should not have a regiment dedicated to people trying to overthrow your own group. That should not be a thing.
All right, I'm gonna wrap it up here. This will be all uploaded to YouTube. Everyone in War and Peace will be seeing this. The things I've dedicated today. I think I'm gonna get a special channel, special role ping. So make sure you do hit that shit. Subscribe, post notifications, fucking like the video, and make sure you get that special role ping in War and Peace. Thank you.
I'm right.
Yeah, I might try to get VEG to sponsor me too, but we'll see about that. That's gonna take a little bit. All right. See you, motherfuckers.
I know the VG people. I can hook you up.
You okay? See you, motherfuckers, Bill.
No after party, huh?